2024. This is the Papers Review, where we take a look at the major stories coming out of the newspapers this morning, bring you the analysis and take your reactions. My name is Kenny Durutilu.
Good morning, Nigerians. My name is GBOLABO, famous school. Good morning, Kenny.
Morning, GBOLABO. I have on me the Punch newspaper, the Premium Times, the Nation, the Guardian, amongst a bunch of papers this morning. Let's start off with the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. A major story that cuts across many of the papers this morning. 12 years after, Tinubu adopts 𝐂𝐒𝐒 report, merges agencies. Elsewhere, federal government to pay youth unemployment benefits, sets up consumer credit program. Other headlines from the Punch: court to hear suits demanding pro-Wike lawmakers sacking. Treason, court decides Kanu's bail application March 19. CBN sells over $300 million to banks as Naira gains. Customs suspends rice sale after 7 die in stampede. SANs list expectations as Supreme Court justices rise to 21. Ogun Kogi, Taraba governors felicitate Punch at 50. 20 insights into 𝐂𝐒𝐒 reports as EFCC, FRC, others set for merger. If you're interested in that one, you find it in the pages of Punch. Talking business now. Analysts foresee interest rate hike as MPC holds meeting. And lastly, ban dollar cash transactions to save Naira. Operator tells Tinubu.
All right, so the cable NG this morning, there are also other top stories. We have this one from the business angle. Shettima inaugurates 188 megawatts geometric power plant in Abia. A more story here says ICRC BPE to be merged. Peter Tinubu says EFCC criminalizing commercial dispute. A more says where's Buhari's rice pyramid? You owe Nigerians explanation. All right, we'll take one more before delving into another paper. To address gaps in 2023 polls, Abbas says constitution review will include electoral reforms.
All right, headlines out of the Premium Times now. Tinubu to implement 𝐂𝐒𝐒 report to scrap merge many government agencies. Nnamdi Kanu trial, lawyers, litigants, journalists lament as SSS restricts court access. Nigeria's hope rests with Igbo. Shettima says police extortions, lawmakers, prediction on Naira. Other top stories from South. Police dismiss officer over $3,000 extortion. NLC rally, police pledge to protect protesters as federal government seeks cancellation, and courts to rule on Nnamdi Kanu's fresh bail application. We have to take some commercials right now. When we come back, we'll be bringing more headlines before we take the analysis. Just stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Go for gold, Terra Gold Cube, the amazing seasoning cube. So when you're cooking your delicious meals, don't compromise. Go for gold.
Rich, consistent taste for cooking mouth-watering soups, stews, and jollof. Choose wisely. Choose Gold. Terra Gold Seasoning Cube.
1 cube. Endless possibilities. Terra Gold.
My guys, I'm always on the go, but I never miss any match day because with the new Showmax Premier League app, every match day is my day. Stream the Premier League live on the new Showmax app for just 2,900 monthly. Chicken change for you and chicken change for me.
Yes, so you've heard Obi Kubana. Join the excitement and stream all 380 games of the Premier League live on your mobile. Download and subscribe to the new Showmax app today. Showmax, streaming for Africa.
Mom's love is pure. It flows, no, she does. Mom's
It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Talks you
To stream this current show live on Facebook, simply type 32FM949.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Glad to know you're still there. Still a Break It On Papers review here on 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we're taking a look at the front pages of the national dailies in Nigeria this morning. And of course, I take a quick one at the Vanguard newspaper front page. We have Tinubu reduces 263 MDAs to 161 as FEC adopts Oransaye's report. Federal government announces 24-hour total closure of Third Mainland Bridge. Hardship ahead NLC rally, protest rock Edo, Lagos, Osun. All the latest news here says NIN court stops MTN INT'L orders from deactivating subscribers' lines. CJN to new Supreme Court justices brace up for attacks by litigants. Tinubu, a right we had done earlier, 7 killed in Makurdi. A rival court clash. Federal government announces 24-hour total closure of Third Mainland Bridge. Stampede, customs suspend distribution of rice. Troops overpower Boko Haram terrorists in Borno, recovers arms ammunition. Ibori to Tinubu, you have shown courage approving Lagos Port Harcourt Calabar Coastal Superhighway. And fire gods Kano Plywood Market. And in politics, Buhari took Nigeria 50 years backward. That's coming from Fayoshe, the former governor of Ekiti State. Treasonable felony charges, Kano files fresh application for bail. Tinubu has right team, but his policies not suitable for Nigerians. That's according to SDP's Adebayo. Faso Roti to Yoruba people shun protest rallies. And of course, I will take one more before going ahead to another paper. And of course, this is from the Metro Plus page. And it says, breaking CSO's protest over economic hardship in Edo. And that's about it from the Vanguard this morning.
All right, headlines out of the Daily Post now. You have this one, FEC meeting, 5 key decisions taken by Tinubu. There's a list of that from the Daily Post this morning. Customs suspend sale of seized food items over stampede. Rivers Assembly crisis, appeal court grants ex parte order for 10 Rivers representatives. Well, in tough period, things are not going as planned. That's according to Makinde from the Daily Post this morning. Falana urged IGP to provide adequate protection for protesters. Kogi government debunks recruiting new teachers. There's another one there. Jigawa Governor Namadi inaugurates anti-corruption agency. Police assure protesters in Kogi of adequate security. Already took that elsewhere. Violent protests will not be tolerated. Delta CP wants NLC. I'm not decamping to APC. Autumn says that's talking politics. Also, Rivers Assembly crisis. Appeal court already took that as well. One last one from the Daily Post now. Edo Guba, La Media Papa's letter to INEC fraudulent. That's credited to the Labour Party.
All right, moving over to the Guardian newspaper this morning. Nigeria to pay unemployed young people monthly stipend. And it says Nigerian government on Monday said unemployed young people will be paid a monthly stipend to cushion the effect of economic hardship. Nigeria's Minister for Economy, Wale Edun, disclosed this on Monday. And now joining us to review some of this national dealers development here, we'll have Mr. Femi Olukunle joining us to do this. It's great to have you here, sir. Good morning.
Thank you very much. I'm so pleased to be with you this morning, Bolabo and Kenny. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Femi. All right, I think the best place to start, the most common story in the papers have to do with the Oransaye report. 12 years after, Mr. President has embraced the implementation of that particular report. We understand that as part of the implementation of the report, 29 government agencies will be merged. 8 parastatals will be subsumed into 8 other agencies. What has the president, or why has the president actually decided to finally embrace this report after all these years? What potential advantages does this merger or this merging of government agencies as outlined in the report offer Nigerians?
Well, I need to say that President Bola Tinubu has done very well with this decision. When we come here to criticize him when he does what is not right, it is not just for the fun of it. So, but when he does what is good, then we must applaud him and encourage him to do more. Right. With this, I think he has done very well. That was a report that had gathered so much dust where it was kept. And he picked it up, dusted it, and is now working on it. He has gone to show that government is not Father Christmas. This idea of just frittering money all over the place, just establishing parastatals and agencies in order to get jobs for the boys. I think the era should be over. Now that we are tightening our belts, we must make sure that all the conduit pipes through which money is wasted should be uprooted, not just blocked, but uprooted completely. So that is merging these agencies and parastatals is a welcome development. He has to do more because even his cabinet is too large. We've got too many ministries. Right. He has to look into that direction also. And all these freebies that people in the presidency and people in the National Assembly enjoy unnecessarily should also be looked into, so that all of us will be in the same boat, and then we now look up to God to help us navigate it so that it does not capsize.
Before we move on to another story, do you foresee any resistance from some of these agencies? There might be some logistics that hurdles as regarding logistics here, and the need for effective oversight to actually see to the proper implementation of this report. Do you foresee any of that?
Problems are existing for human beings to solve. That is why God gave us brains. So I don't believe that there will be any problem that cannot be surmounted when there is a willpower. So I think the president is demonstrating the willpower to surmount whatever obstacle that may be on the way of implementation of this project. So I don't believe, with the kind of determination he has, anybody that he assigns to do anything will want to stand in the way of a proper implementation. Anyone who wants to do that will be one of the enemies of the country, because this time around we cannot just continue to waste money. We have to be frugal in the management of the lean resources that we have in the country.
All right, Mr. Olukunle, let's look at this one now. A stipend to be paid to unemployed people in Nigeria. As good as that news sounds, the problem we do have in this country is the issue of our data system. And we keep wondering if we've really gotten it right. Now, if the government is going to embark on this, as lucrative as it sounds, as good as it starts, because they want to increase the purchasing power of many Nigerians. They're seeing the poorest of the poor. And this has been an argument on the front burner, saying, how do you identify instances of unemployed young persons in Nigeria? Virtually everyone will come forward. Does the government have such statistics?
Government has the statistics, but the statistics are kept under the carpet. Because, we generated statistics through the registration of Nigerians under NIN. We generated statistics under BVN. So it's only that some people are very, very lazy to harmonize and to ensure that there is no duplication. So some people are lazy. If government is demonstrating the willpower to do some things now, if the president orders that there should be harmonization of the data collected through NIN and the BVN, and they ensure that the duplication is stamped out, honestly, we will get it. So I don't expect government to order that Nigerians should queue again to register somewhere, and I don't believe that.
You know why I asked the question? Because one keeps wondering why we have to do NIN capturing. We have to do instances of voters card, and you still need to capture. Then you also talk about BVN, we capture. It means that there's something wrong somewhere. Maybe there is no data kind of pool that the government could pull some of these resources from. What could have happened that we have to do this over and over again? Okay,
I believe the information government needs to give us national data is there. The only thing that remains is for an order to be given that, give me one template harmonize all these variables and give me one template with which I'm going to work. I think that is what government should do before saying that, okay, I want to be giving some people certain amount of money. Because the danger in it is that that money may go haywire, it may go into private pockets, it may go into the pockets of people with long throats who have insatiable appetite for stealing public money. However, I think government has said that it's going to utilize a NIN, BVN. These are the data we are talking about. I think if they scrupulously use that, it will minimize stealing. If they will be stealing, it will minimize stealing. But at the end of the day, we still need a comprehensive data. And that will guide us whenever we want to do this kind of thing. So what government wants to do by paying people is laudable. But one thing that keeps bothering me is government saying the poorest of the poor. Who are the poorest of the poor? That you see somebody wearing a neat shirt and trouser does not mean he's not poor. Somebody who doesn't have a 10,000 naira with him and he has a family to feed is poor. Somebody who doesn't have up to 50,000 naira in his account is poor. So government must not, that nomenclature, poorest of the poor, is a way to siphon money to private pockets. You can identify these poor people through the banks, through their accounts, through their BVN. You can identify them. So I think if we are not careful, the money will go to the politicians and their cronies and some civil servants who are experts in the art of stealing government property, government funds. So government should be very careful with this identification of people to be given money by capturing them as the poorest of the poor. So somebody who moves from Dugbe here to Agodi and treks up to Oje before he mounts on Okada that will collect about 50 naira or something from him. He's poor. Despite the fact that he's wearing neat shirt and trousers. So you don't judge a book by the cover.
All right, let's talk about the federal government and Labour now. We hear a meeting between the representatives of government and some Labour leaders ended in a stalemate yesterday. The SGF apparently invited some of the Labour leaders to his office for a meeting that yielded no fruit. And as it stands, the nationwide protest is going to go on as planned. Let's have you speak on, some of the impact of prolonged industrial unrest on Nigerians as a whole, including disruptions to, essential services, economic activities, and all of that.
When I read the reason why, the reason the TUC is not joining that protest, honestly, it made me to believe that there are some people in this country who are sensible. Because if I looked at all the suggestions put on ground or put on the table by TUC, if government can implement all those suggestions, we will quickly get out of these problems because they are made of immediate implementable suggestions, the ones that have middle term, the ones that have long term. So for the NLC, I don't know why they are not synergizing. I don't know why they are not coming together to do these things, to salvage us from all this nonsense that we have found ourselves in the country. And honestly, I've always been saying it. It is not strike or protest that will, at the end of the day, that should end of the day solve the problem. Because when we protest, when we go on strike, we will still come back to the table to discuss that, okay, let us do it this way and that way. So I believe instead of going on strike, instead of having this protest and all these things we are talking about, we should discuss. Let's talk. And I've said it before, and I'm saying it again, that government should come down from its horse. Labour should meet the government at the middle. Let them discuss. If truly they are serving us, if government is serving us, if Labour is fighting for us, let the two of them sit together and harmonize their thoughts and get something reasonable for us. It is true that we are suffering. It is true that Nigerians
bear the brunt.
Are bearing the brunt, and that they are feeling the heat. Yes, we know Labour is fighting for us. We know government is trying to do something good in order to rebake the cake. But in order to ameliorate these sufferings, I believe discussion is better than war, in quotes. So, because at the end of the day, it is the masses that will suffer when Labour goes on strike. The people in government will not feel it. They will not feel it. The only thing is that they will feel the empty offices. That, okay, the staff are not here today. The commissioner doesn't have somebody to dust his table and to open the door for him. That is what they are going to feel. But in terms of good things of life, they are not going to lose anything. It is the masses that are going to lose. So let us try to ensure that this strike does not recur all the time. We should talk and solve our problems by talking and agreeing.
All right, Mr. Lukuli, let's look at this horrific one. Hurua, that's Human Rights Writers Association, seeks compensation for fatal stampede negligence at Customs Office. Now, are we learning any lesson? Because I do remember that during Abamoro's time as Interior Minister then, there was a stampede that happened at the Immigration Office when they had to call out a number of people to seek for a job. And of course, many people came out and there was huge stampede and people died. And there is a repetition of that with what the Customs is trying to put up in terms of purchasing power of the people, asking them to come buy rice at a very reduced price. Now, if you look at this picture, you see how horrific it is and how much more Nigerians are really hungry. Now, they have to come with their NIN to get all of this. We have moved from an orthodox system in Nigeria. We have said that technology is the in thing. We've talked about AI. We've talked about a lot of policies. Now, we do remember during the Buhari administration, there's even an ICT sector. Why do we have to go through this kind of orthodox way of doing things in Nigerians? Why do we need to impoverish people further? Now, if you look at these numbers, how many people can this rise get to? And those that have died, Rurua has asked for compensation. What more can we say of this development?
As long as we continue to do things in an analog manner, we will not get the correct results. Now, Customs asked people to come and buy this rice of a thing without having crowd control mechanism on ground. So I did mean they had crowd control mechanism on ground. Probably this thing wouldn't have
Should
happened.
they even come out this way? They are technology that could
if they have to come out.
Okay.
If they have to come out, if people have to come out, then there must be a control mechanism on ground. Crowd control mechanism on ground. They failed to do that. And aside from that, it is not everything that we must do in an analog manner. I mean, world has since moved on from analog to digital. I don't know why we are still drawing, we are still crawling. I mean, Nigeria is too big for this kind of nonsense that we are facing and we are reading every day. It is most unfortunate. It is most unfortunate the way we are handling these things. This cannot be laid at the threshold of the president, because he employed some people, he put them in charge. Do this for me, and they have not done it well. So what I expect is for the president to wield a stick to query some people. Why did this happen? You see, we must begin to value lives. Yes, people are hungry, and somebody who is hungry will be angry.
So what are the suggestions there? Because if you look at the immigration service, there's a lot of improvement with what Tunde Ojo is doing. Like, for instance, before now, if you want to get your passport after you've registered and done everything, you needed to go there. The crowds are always something else, very mammal crowd. But these days, you have them done in alphabetical order. So there are days for alphabetical orders. From A to Z, you're supposed to come a certain day. From Z to certain alphabetical order, you're supposed to come another day. So if you know that your day falls on Monday, you come in on Monday. Why don't we have that kind of process being done? And now they've moved from that level to say your passport will be delivered in your homes. And now it takes a very short period of time for people to have access to their passport, like what we used to have in the time past. Why can't we move like what the Interior Ministry has done on that Tunji Ojo. How much more do we have all of them queuing into that?
Let me tell you one thing. Tunji Ojo decided to do something different from what he met on ground. Somebody was in that office before he got there, and that person did not achieve what he's achieving now. That means Tunji Ojo put on his cap, the thinking cap, and he got the results. Not you are talking about passports that people collect under 2 days, 3 days. What about the biometrics that he has done at the nation's airports in order to minimize contact with immigration officers who will be demanding bribes from people? So that is somebody who is thinking. That is somebody who is in office to make a change. And that is what is short in supply in other ministries. That is what is short in supply that has necessitated the death of those Nigerians at the customs. Because somebody has to think. You see, you are paid and you are retained in the office you are to think and do things differently. Anyway, in a positive manner. But people will just go there. They are just with this like a Desica attitude and that it is government job. We can do it anyhow. It is because Tunji Ojo did not allow anybody to do it anyhow. Because he believes that the buck stops at its table and he makes sure that he keeps people on their toes. I mean, that ministry was almost dead before he got there.
Right off.
And he has resuscitated it. Why can't customs or the supervising ministry of customs do something different? They have killed some Nigerians now. Some Nigerians, they were hungry to death.
All right.
So it is most unfortunate that we are having this.
We have to take some commercials. We'll take them, and when we come back, we'll be opening the phone lines. So stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Hello, excuse me. This Milo pack looks different. I'm seeing support energy release, BAM, on the pack. Is it the same Milo? No, this one is new and improved. The support energy release means when you give your kids Milo as part of breakfast, you are giving them energy they need to go to school. Ah, I like this one.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
A giant of Africa once said, life is good when you stream. So we did it for you. The soft life queen driven by ambition. The loyal fan that never misses a single game. Here we stream for you. So when you hit the play button, set your dreams in motion, laugh away your struggles, fill the air with the chants of your favorite team and find the stories that breathe and speak to you. The new Showmax is here. Download the new Showmax app and from 1,200 Naira subscribe and dive into the land of streams. Showmax, streaming for Africa.
Hey, you fancy me?
It's okay.
And also the Facebook, 32 FM 949.
It's okay.
Bó ṣe ń wò mí yìí, mo jẹ́ kan nínú àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ jẹun dáadáa. Ìdí tó fi jẹ́ wípé tí mo bá fẹ́ jẹun, ọ̀pọ̀ nǹkan tó dáa ni mo máa ń fi sínú ẹ̀ fún àsáró mi lẹ́yìn tí mo bá fẹja sí i. Màá fàlùbọ́sà, tàtàṣé àti úgú ṣẹ̀jọ́ ẹ̀. Màá wá fi kóró náà tá a jẹ́ kó sọkútù wọ̀wọ̀ sí i fọ́dún tó gbámúṣé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ìgbé ayé tó dáa ni téèyàn bá jẹun tó dáa.
Ṣẹjọ́ gbogbo oúnjẹ rẹ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó ewébẹ̀. Wá fi kóró náà dára sí i fún adùn tó gbámúṣé yẹn. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
Please pay attention. If you find yourself getting dizzy, tired, headaches, sweating too much, or even muscle cramps, it might be signs of heat exhaustion or heat stroke. This happens when your body cannot maintain a cooler temperature because the weather is too hot. If you see the signs, please move the person to a cooler place. Give them cold water to drink and apply ice packs or cold water to their body. Keep yourself hydrated. This message is brought to you from 32 FM 94.9 Ibadan.
Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste. With our unique expertise, we select fine quality tea leaves from selected tea gardens around the world. Experience Lipton Yellow Label's flavorful and balanced taste in every sip. Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9. Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Alright, 32 FM 94.9, the papers review. We're taking your reactions to the headlines out of the papers this morning. 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Those are the numbers. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother.
Morning, sir.
Ade from UI.
Alright.
You can see, I challenge a friend of mine. When I call on a radio program, when I type on social media about every bad government, it's not as if Adeshu is a victim. It's not that I'm a victim. It's not that I'm going to be doing that. Look at 10 people have died so far now because of stampede, because of rice in Lagos. And look at what somebody said, say Yoruba should not participate in protest. So I don't understand. He's having a good leader. He's having a good development for a country that you and I enjoy. Is it about tribe? I'm asking. Is it about tribe? It's not about tribe. Somebody is there and my people are dying. What is the essence of that? Now, those that have been dying of Lagos, of rice in Lagos, several of them, is Adeshu is them there. It's not about me. It's about our people that cannot afford what they can eat. Let us agitate and support anything that will get bad leader out of power. That's the best of today.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, the numbers again are 070-55,949 or 080-97,949. We're also live on Facebook, 32FM Feyie on Facebook with 2 A's. Hello, good morning.
GBOLABO, morning.
Morning, okay.
Mr. Lukule, good morning. This is okay. Because like Mr. Lukule rightly said, I think I commend the president for the Rostonia report. So we are waiting for it to be implemented wholeheartedly. I commend him for that, at least for taking that boat, because all of us were looking at it that this might actually help us in these parts of the world. Then I remember last week I said something when customs came out, and I said I hope this will not go in the Abamoro way. And lo and behold, we have lost wonderful set of people that would have been useful to this country, the negligence. And please, there is something I actually want us to look at. I would prefer us to say what Tunji Ojo has done in immigration, because I think custom is also under interior. Probably there is somebody in custom that doesn't want things to work. Probably there is somebody in customs that wants to be doing it the same way, hoping to get the same answer, which will not work for us. Good morning. This is okay.
All right, I think Mr. Alukule, you wanted to say something.
Customs is under the Ministry of Finance. So I think that supervisory ministry should wake up and do something.
0705 5949, 0809 7949. We're live on Facebook. You can share your thoughts with us on Facebook as well. That's 32FM 949 Fenya. That's with a double E. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Sorry, I'm calling from Oklahoma.
All right.
Good morning. Yeah. You see, why I don't understand this APC government. Why they want to give money to your blessing in Nigeria? Where is the data? Where are they going? We don't really have the data to add it.
Do try and call us back. 0705 5000 949 0809 7000 949. We'll take some reactions from Facebook now. Okay, Babatunde says, GFC and okay, Kenny, good day to you. Let NLC continue to put the administration on their toes until the needful is done. Let it not be hijacked by miscreants. State governors too should do the needful. Focus should not be on federal government alone, he says. Also, Katie Rababatunde, hopefully implementing Orosai reports will not lead to job loss. It is equally better to cut down on political appointments, he says. There. 0705 5000 949 0809 7000 949.
Okay, let's also look at all the stories here. I was looking at this speed of insecurity and how much more we're hearing. I have a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, GBOLABO.
Morning.
This is what I'm calling from Abala.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes, custom is under Interior.
Really?
Under Minister of Interior.
Okay.
Yes. And also, I want to make comment on the money the government promised to give to Prayer of the Poor. How they go to track it? And I believe it's not going to be another cookie jar for the humanitarian ministry. Our money making. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. Yes, Mr. Lukule, I was actually going to the issue of speed of insecurity in Nigeria. And now you have 5 top bandit leaders, 48 fighters killed in deadly Zamfara clashes. Now, we've been hearing this news, not today, that head of this militia groups have been killed, they've been maimed. Now they resurface. Are we going to be saying that they are cells that these groups have been able to develop that in such a way when the leader of one particular cell is killed, another will spring up? What exactly is it that they are doing ahead of our security apparatus in Nigeria?
Now, don't forget that these terrorist groups, they steal human beings. They go into villages to steal able-bodied people, and then they enlist them into their terrorist groups. So that is why that is how they replenish when they are decimated. The only thing is the willpower and strong willpower to attack these people and wipe them off from our map. And I think government can do that. In fact, I was just ruminating over this thing before now. And I see, to me, I believe what Bola Tinubu administration should do is to focus on 3 major things. So focus on a massive production of food, agriculture. Then, before agriculture can succeed, then security must be handled with seriousness that it deserves, because they have sent away all the farmers from farms, and we are seeing the result now, food shortages. And then another thing that he has to do is to ensure stability in economy. If these 3 major things are done, the other ones will be done, but if we have more concentration of these 3 major ones, honestly, we will have a new breath of life. So the terrorists are recruiting by stealing people, and that is why among themselves, when one is killed, they enthrone another leader. So, but I think what our security operatives need to tackle these people must also be given to them, and they must be encouraged, because these soldiers are human beings. They must not lose courage. They must not be treated as if they are just boys that must go and face death every time. So I think.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
My name is Bingamari, calling from Apata.
All right, go ahead.
Permit me to go in the way of comradeship this morning. On NLC protest, we need the protest, Nigerian. We need the protest, Jairo. Yeah, that's on that. On the issue of Wale Edun, the Minister for Economics, what's his name? He said they want to give factors from stipends to some vulnerable Nigerians. Like the analyst said, he said we have data. And I said, no, we don't have the real data. How many Nigerians have NIN? How many Nigerians have BBN? Look at our mothers in the core villages. Look at our fathers in the core villages. They don't have means. They don't have data. Like yesterday in my office, we went on to collect some account number of some people in the villages. Most of them they are telling us that they don't have account number, that where they normally store their money is in their home. So they are vulnerable. So how do we get this money extended to those set of people? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for that.
We'll take more messages on Facebook now. Balkis on Odinros writes, if the Tinubu administration intends to adopt the recommendations of the Rosai report, it should commence by reducing its cabinet, cutting down on the size of convoys and reducing the number of vehicles used by political office holders. Furthermore, it appears that successive administrations, including those of Buhari and Jonathan, have selectively utilized the Orosai report to suit their agendas. I hope this won't cause another hardship when some lose their jobs, she says. Motayo Luarutimi says, wouldn't really agree completely with Faishe on his thoughts about former President Buhari. Things have been going downhill for many years in the nation. We have been very complacent. People sit in churches and mosques without being very productive. Another one here, Rajia Fiza Bidemi says, good morning. On the issue of Orosai report, honestly, I have read the highlights of the president's order to implement the Orosai report, and I'm convinced beyond any doubt that it takes a president who is courageous and determined with a lot of political will to give such order, that the report will go a long way.
All right, this issue of the customs, whether it's on the interior, there are a lot of write-ups, on that.
Yes, I just want to correct the person who said that, who affirmed that custom is under the Ministry of
Interior, not
because
finance.
of our children who are listening to us. Customs was returned to Federal Ministry of Finance in 1992. So it is part of Federal Ministry of Finance because it is a money generating agency under that ministry. So I think we have to correct that.
All right, that's cleared up now. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi, for joining us on the program this morning. This is where we call it a day on the Papers Review. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kenny Dorotilo.
Thanks a lot. My name is GBOLABO Famous School, and of course, a Smart Kids show is up next. Do stay with us.